Welcome to The Glowing Goddess. We are four women on a mission to positively impact, inspire, and ignite the collective consciousness with unique perspectives of empowering wisdom, divine guidance, and enlightening activation codes of truth. Tune in weekly for brand new episodes with a variety of epic content and tap into the magical offerings we have aligned for you. Thank you for being here. We are so grateful for your time and energy. Let's get glowing. Hello, everyone. My name is Krysta Lee. I am a mama of two, a founder of Soul School. I'm a coach, a best-selling author, and a guide to help bring people back to their innate power and intuition. And I'm so happy to be here. Welcome to the Glowing Goddess.
Hi, everybody. My name is Amanda Monier. I am a healer and a coach specializing in multidimensional health and wellness. It is like a combination of 5D frequency meets 3D nutrition. And I'm just so happy to be here with everybody today and just get into this topic. So excited.
Yes, and hi, gorgeous people. I'm Renee Marcoux, a brand strategist, money activating queen, and cosmic manifestation teacher. And I lead visionary women and men into divine service and massive impact to soar into riches in their relationships, love, and business.
Love it. Hey, beautiful souls. I'm Eleni Ambillis. First and foremost, I'm a divine spiritual being, a mother, a sister, and a divine creator. I help people deliberately cultivate miracles in their life through my company, Cali Taros, where I take people through the processes of up-leveling their frequencies. I'm also an ambassador with iHeart Coaching Academy, helping people find sovereignty and a life they truly love. I'm an author, a motivational speaker. I'm shifting now into the space of children with my upcoming release of my children's book and a empowerment program geared just for the little souls so they can recognize their magnificence, worth, and brilliance.
So amazing. I'm so happy to be here with all of you today. Welcome everybody into the community as well. If you're new here, drop your name in the comment. Let us welcome you in and love you up massively. Today, we are going to be answering one of the questions that came through from a community member that inspired us to really want to talk on this subject today. So we're going to go right into our topic, which is why do we encounter resistance when setting boundaries for ourselves? Now, that can look in so many different ways, but especially with people and relationships around us. So who wants to start it off?
Oh, I'll start it off because this has been something that I've been deeply guided into, like a new level of mastery in, because we always have an opportunity to really continue to anchor these in. And for me, there are certain things that are like my values and my non-negotiables. And I actually just had a recent experience. I won't go too into the story because it's kind of a long one, where I had I look at it as a gift because it was an opportunity to really exercise those values and those boundaries that I had for myself. But what I actually found was there was this aspect of me that didn't feel worthy and didn't feel like it was like this push-pull kind of energy. And so what this relationship and what this situation showed me was that it was a part of myself that didn't feel like I could. It felt like because I was receiving in some sort of way that I had to overgive. And so I feel like this can come through in a variety of different ways. But one thing that I have learned as being a feminine essenced being is that really, really starting to trust that feeling and that knowing, because it's never wrong. I had it at the beginning of the situation and with these boundaries that I had, and something felt off. But I continued to kind of dabble and play around in it. And it was like I got to confirm that it was off rather than trusting that knowing. And so I feel like especially if we've been someone who is an overgiver, then people can feel that from us, right? And so oftentimes they'll hook in or they'll have an expectation of us. And when we start to really anchor in this like solidarity of in our frequency and in our being, it can be a little like people get a little disoriented because they're used to just pulling from us. So And it's, again, just an opportunity to continue to ground into that, into those knowings, into those truths, into what feels good for you. And especially for us women, like what really does feel good to your system, and coming back to that as a way to anchor those in a bit deeper.
Yeah, I mean, I think that every circumstance as they present, particularly when we start to create boundaries for ourselves, if we start to get that pushback, it's an opportunity to look for growth. Like, why is this showing up for me? What belief system is surfacing right now? Is this some inner child work that could use healing? Is there a part of me that could use healing? Am I looking for approval? Why is approval important to me? Why is the acceptance important to me? Why maybe, people pleaser mentality? When things surface for me, I feel like I must be vibrating something that's pulling this forth to heal. Not to look at like, oh, I'm miscreating in my life, but there's a part of me that needs some healing. And there was a deep realization that happened within me in the last few years that was like, I don't need anybody else's permission to be happy or to succeed. I don't need anyone else's permission for that. The only permission you need is your own. So being okay with the pushback that might come, like finding peace within that, and looking at them with love, some compassion. What kind of healing work do they need? What's causing them to react this way? Why is it so important for them to be able to control? When we kind of take that step back and remember what, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, remembering what and who we truly are. Some of us are further along on the journey than others, and that ego part of self sometimes surfaces in me and in others, and just to kind of love all over that. And for me, it's always an opportunity to love a little more, love myself a little more, love that person a little more, bless the good in it, and stand firm and honor what feels important to me. Not compromise on that. Assess loving it, but never compromise on that, right?
Eleni, I love this. And Amanda too, everything you're saying is resonating so deeply with me. And I feel like I've been through this. I've felt that pushback in many different relationships over the years. And it's interesting because like sometimes I think of it as a test, like the universe is testing us to see, like it's going to bring forth these lessons to see, are we really like firmly standing in this space, this new change that whatever we're taking on, or whatever we're believing or changing in our lives. It's kind of like a test. And also I like to remind myself that like people that are in a place that is maybe, maybe they're more successful than us, or maybe they're happier than us or whatever, they would never be bashing us. So if we are getting pushback from people after we set a firm boundary, then to me that's saying like perhaps there's something that they're going through and maybe they're hurting. And I like to remind myself, hurt people. And so it's so important to come back to the love, like you said, Eleni, and sending love, and just remembering that like someone who's more successful than us or happier than us would not be giving us that pushback. So there's a reason there. And I think quite often when change does occur, most people don't like change. A lot of people don't like change. They like to stick in their comfort zone and they don't like to step outside of the box. So when free thinkers come forth like us and our viewers here in the Glowing Goddess, like I imagine most people here are very much in this space. It can be hard for others to receive. So it's hard not to take it personally when we do get pushback on the boundaries that we're enforcing, but at the same time, it's a beautiful gift because it does mean that we're putting the work in and it's making change and it's actually being received, whether it's a good receiving or not. There is a lesson to be learned there, and it's a beautiful opportunity for us to really anchor in whatever we're initiating, whatever boundary we're putting in place. So I think it's a blessing in disguise, and the more we grow through it, the easier it gets. Because I know for me in the very beginning, when I first started to receive pushback after I started to enforce boundaries and do a lot of like personal growth and soul searching, it was really hard. Like I cried for a good solid year when I was going through some really hard stuff enforcing boundaries, and it was very difficult. However, I also grew so much because of it. And now it's like, I feel like I've developed that thick skin where I don't seek others' permission anymore. And like I used to, and it feels so much better this way because former people pleaser, that was not a good way for me to be. And this feels so much better. So I really hope that this helps, this conversation that we're having. This is is such a great topic. And I love that this question was asked. Thank you so much.
Yes, for sure. And I literally am so in resonance with what everyone here is saying as well, to all of these glowing goddesses. And I really am inspired to share about having that deep self-respect for you, right? We teach people how to treat us by the way that we stand grounded and firm in how we show up in the world, how we show up in the relationship. And it's maybe unconscious to others where they don't realize they're pushing boundaries, or they're, not really following along the rules, if you will, to be a part of our lives. And that also provides us an opportunity to say, okay, universe, if this person's not meant to be in my life, then we can remove them with ease and grace and with love and send them off. And I think that's one thing that sometimes we as humans like to overcomplicate, because we think, oh gosh, well, did I go to the end of the earth for this person before I let them go? And it's like, sometimes we don't really need to even do that. We don't have to have this huge awakening, or this huge transformation. It can just be so simple. And with that being said, we get to attract more people of like vibration of who we are today and where we're going. And when you set boundaries, it is uncomfortable for some people, but those people may be the ones in your life, and you can really just sit down with yourself and say, like, how close to my core are these people who I've set the boundaries for, and they're walking all over them, or they're pushing back on me, and really say, like, is it a time for me to release this person? Grab the gift out of it, right? Like, be fully embraced and in the experience, and look in the mirror, and then realign yourself to stand firm. And this can show up in so many different ways: in primary relationships, in relationships with people in your workplace, relationships with clients, relationships with family members, your caretakers, your loved ones. And we get to draw different boundaries in all different areas of those relationships as well. And when we do that, we're reminding ourselves that we fully and highly respect and value ourselves first and foremost. And when we do that, we get to show up with a different energy in the relationship.
Yes. And something that came forth, like, as you were speaking, Renee, I'm just like, I'm on fire listening to you ladies. It's, do we expect people to violate our boundaries? You get what you expect. So if you have some kind of belief system that nobody ever listens to me, nobody ever respects when I say no, nobody ever, right? The change begins with you. So maybe making some affirmations to align with these new expectations and this new level of what it is you're seeking for the universe to deliver to you, so that it can align more fully, right? Really kind of taking that look, like, well, did I expect Bob to give me a hard time with that? Was I expecting that before the situation even happened, right? How are you co-creating mentally? You can kind of take your power back and look lovingly and say, oh, maybe I am expecting that to be treated that way.
Yeah, such a beautiful point. And I feel like, in addition, and I'm loving every bit of this conversation because it's so applicable to everybody, because we all have relationships, and we're all navigating this journey, and getting really clear on what you do desire and how that does feel and how you desire. And are you someone that pushes boundaries? Sometimes that can be a component of it as well. And I've just found such a power in really the non-attachment and allowing. And I heard this once, and I love it. It's like, people come in for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So sometimes it's like they're here to show you something, to show you that gift, and you can see the gift, or you can see the shadow and the deception. That's up to you. It's not necessarily right or wrong, but oftentimes when we decide to go down that route, where we're going kind of into more of that shadowy, like, victim consciousness, we get another dose of it. We get to experience it again, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, are we stepping into those desires from a place of, this is what I know to be true? Or are we telling a story that we can't actually have that? Because oftentimes that gap between what it is we desire and what we know is in our heart and what we know we're coded for, and if it's not showing up, can be for a variety of reasons. It can be the stories we're telling ourselves. It can be that the universe hasn't quite caught up and there might be a little doubt. It can be a couple different things, but holding true to that and showing up as if it's already there. Those desires, whether it be that partner, whether it be that the business, and really just not giving up on it. Because if it is a desire, I say this, like, you are meant to have it. I do believe it, but it's closing that gap and really taking inventory and stepping more into that consciousness versus that victim perspective, because the victim perspective keeps us lodged on those lower timelines to where we tend to get more of it.
True story.
It's so true. That I was gonna say too, the universe, like the way that it works is like it'll bring us back patterns and experiences that we haven't fully gotten or grown through or healed. So when these things do happen, like again, like you were saying, Amanda, it is a gift because it's coming back for a reason, or these people are coming to our lives with this pushback for a reason. And like when we're growing to these new levels, and we're always up leveling and growing as we expand and grow towards enlightenment, even, it's just things can get more challenging, but it just depends on our perspective. And so instead of like cycling downward, we can actually spiral upward, and this is part of the process. It really is. And it's such a great opportunity to really dig deeper into maybe a lesson that we've learned before, but now we're getting to another level of it, which is just so empowering. And it's like, thank you, universe, because you know I can handle this. I've got this. How can I approach it this time? Maybe there's a different way of handling it compared to another experience that we've had in the past. So it really is a beautiful gift and a lesson that gets deeper and deeper with time, and with wisdom and grace. It's a beautiful, great place to be, I think.
So
Yes.
good. I love this question. Were you about to add something, Renee?
No, I was just agreeing. This, like,
Oh.
for sure is it's so good. Everything that everyone here is sharing is so good. Yeah.
So beautiful. I feel like it might be a good time to transition into some tips.
Let's do it. Yes.
Mine actually kind of ties into this. I knew what we were going to talk about, but then I was writing it down and I was like, okay, this actually makes sense. And I was talking to someone about this today because they were like, gosh, I'm so sensitive and I feel like I'm getting pummeled with like heavy energy and all this stuff. And so I'm like, have you ever thought about having a practice where you're strengthening your field and you're kind of cleansing out that energy? So this practice is one that I use. I use it in between sessions because I'm doing a lot of energy work with clients and I'm in their fields and in the density and all the things. But I found this to be very powerful. So I'll connect in straight to source, and you can say, I work with the 13th dimension, 12th dimension, Holy Mother, Holy Father, and you can connect in and see this golden light combined with this luminescent light just coming into your field, going into your body, going around your field, and just setting the intention to clear out anything like distorted from your space and to just fill you up with this pure, potent source love. And it'll give you a recalibration like that, and just clearing out anything that is like staticky in your field, and then just also seeing roots coming out of your feet to just ground yourself, taking some deep breaths. And this is a way that you can really, if you are feeling a lot of kind of, whatever emotion it is, but it may be attached to some things related to boundaries, or it's just been a long day and you're like, I don't know why I feel like this. It can be a really powerful way to just have a quick reset, and it could be done in like less than a minute. So it's something I use often.
I love it. That's such a powerful tool. I mean, and there's so much about light and frequency, right? With just invoking it and just inviting it into your space. I'm going to hop in next with my tip, which is a mood boosting avocado cacao dip. So the ingredients are really, really simple, and I will post this recipe in the group after this episode airs. So it is avocado, cacao, agave, and it's wonderful with fruit and a little bit of, there's coconut water in there too. Now, why is this so wonderful? Well, sometimes avocados go too ripe, and what are you going to do with them? But this is perfect for really ripe avocados. It has agave, which is low glycemic, so it doesn't spike your sugar up and cause that drop, which is what is the harmful effects of sugar. It's keto friendly for anyone who's doing the keto thing. And cacao reduces the risk of heart disease. It's a ton of antioxidants. I know my girl Krysta Lee is a big fan of it. And it's a mood booster. It's a natural mood booster. Coconut water has potassium and even more antioxidant. And avocados maintain healthy cholesterol levels and have just great fats for your hair and your skin. But that's my go-to. I'm not into depriving myself when I crave something sweet, and right now at the time of this filming, people are getting ready for Valentine's Day and they keep seeing like chocolate dipped strawberries around. And I just thought, well, I'm going to share my little dip. It's quick. It's easy to make. Just take the ingredients as listed and put them in a blender, and you have a healthy dip within minutes.
Oh my gosh, Eleni, you're speaking my love language.
Krista's face during that whole thing. Great.
My
I was
mouth
just
is
watching
watering.
Krysta get so excited.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to try that. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh my goodness. And Amanda, yours too. I was getting goosebumps as you were like explaining everything, and I was like, yes. Oh, I just love you guys so much. This is so amazing. So my tip for today is Baltic sea salts, which I love to use in baths for soaking. And you've probably heard before, like Epsom salt soaks and like Himalayan salt rock soaks and all that. So great. So when I do get the chance to take a bath, I love to put some salts in, and sometimes I'll do a mixture, but this Baltic sea salt, it's so incredible. It's when I was researching salts and things for the bath, this seemed to keep popping up at the top of the lists. And we all know it's good for detoxifying and boosting immunity and all that stuff. But I also think on an energetic level, something is happening because it's literally from the ocean. And I know for me, like being by the water is so healing. So I like to envision myself when I'm soaking in the tub is that I'm like detoxing, releasing everything that no longer serves me, and soaking in the nutrients of the ocean and like Mother Earth, like into the bath in the water. So creating this little oasis per se. And I love it so much, and I'll link it in the show notes. You can grab it on Amazon, but I'm sure you can find it at a local health food store. But it's amazing, and I have noticed a difference because I've tried experimenting with this one versus like Himalayan and other Epsom salt soaks, and I love this stuff and I highly recommend it. So I hope you guys will love it too.
Oh my gosh, all of these tips. We are like in all different areas because my tip is going to be mindset. So oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. And Eleni, I love your presentation. That was literally gorgeous. She's such a creator, everybody. If you don't know that about her yet, she's like literally can see something and make it just absolutely stunning. So thanks for that, Eleni. And Krysta and Amanda, all your tips are so good. So my tip is going to be more on the mindset and kind of tying it back into the boundaries here. So there's something that I do called energetic boundaries. And if I feel like there's somebody who's kind of overstepping their invitation into my field, what I will do is just set a loving boundary energetically. So it's not that I'm calling up that person saying, hey, by the way, I have a new boundary, you're calling me too much, or whatever the heck it is, right? It's like I'm actually just standing present in myself. Usually I'm closing my eyes and just really seeing that person with love, light, respect. And I'm just letting them know that there is a boundary now created here. Sometimes we will have to say them out loud, and that's absolutely fine too. I've many times over and over, I've had to state my boundaries out loud, but sometimes just an energetic boundary will do the justice. So just getting into that quiet space, getting into just the energy about it. And even using Amanda's tool right beforehand would be even amazing as well. And then visualization, with Krysta just detoxing all the negativity, because it's not about like, sending that person hate or sending that person anger, all these like low vibrational dense energies. It's more about standing in your power and then just letting them know, hey, this is my new boundary, and this is how I require you to show up in my life if you want to still continue this relationship. So, and like I said, like praying into it with the universe, source, God, goddess, all that is, whatever your belief system is, and really asking that beautiful part of yourself, that team, that inner wisdom to remove people if they're not meant to be in your space anymore. Like Amanda said earlier, some people come in for a season. What was it, Amanda? The quote you said was so good.
A reason, a season,
A reason.
or maybe multiple lifetimes, like you ladies.
Yes, exactly. Multiple lifetimes. So
multiple lifetimes. This ain't our first rodeo.
exactly, for sure. So I think that these tips were amazing. Let's go into an offer. Everybody has an offer for today?
Yes. And my offer, I'll go first. My offer for today is going to be my poverty to prosperity shift master course. It's a 2-day immersion, 2 videos. So just drop your email in on the form on our page to have access to this divine course all for.
Wow.
Love that, Eleni. Thank you so much for sharing. My offer for today is a free half hour session to go over energy management. So I'm sure you've heard of time management and that sort of thing. And I would love to offer our viewers a free session on energy management.
Love it. And I love all things working with the body. So I have a healing audio and activation. It's called Stepping into the Body of Your Deepest Desires. There's some recoding we do around different body parts, shame, guilt, things that are held in the body. And I am gifting that to the listeners / viewers here. And the discount code, you can just go into my shop and the discount code is LOVE, all caps. And I'll put the link and all that good stuff in there. But
amazing. Okay, you all have to take advantage of these offers because literally these women are super duper powerful. I've been studying with all of you for so long. Amanda, I mean, like, wow. Okay, so my offer that I'm going to share is a invitation to check out my masterclass, which is actually coming live. Depending on when this episode goes live, it might have already been recorded, but you can go and find it by dropping your email inside of the comments and I'll send it over to you. It is manifesting money and all good vibes, more positivity, more abundance with money, more good belief systems around money, and just ways to really just call more of it in for your life of freedom. So that would be my offer for today. So thanks, everybody.
This is so amazing. Oh, I love this so much. And of course, for anyone who's listening, we would love to have you come and join us in our Facebook group. If you haven't already, it's at the Glowing Goddess community and all are welcome. We will have all of these show notes and tips and tricks located there for you to click on in the links. And we just love hearing from everyone there. It's been so amazing connecting with you all so far since we've been releasing a couple of episodes already. I am loving it. I know you goddesses are loving it. And it's such a beautiful community and the questions are amazing and the support is just next level and the love, we're feeling it. So thank you. And please do join us there.
Awesome. And it's just been so much fun spending this time with you all. And we want to just thank you so much for tuning in. We absolutely love that you're part of this community. As always, we answered a question live today on the show. So keep those questions coming. We want to connect with you. We want to answer your questions. And we will see you in the next episode of The Glowing Goddess.